Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Kevin Lee Show. I am your host, Kevin, and with me today we have Mike.
Hello.
John.
Hello.
And Witness Protection Program, Chris.
Hello.
And today we're going to be reviewing, as it should display on your screen, we are going to be reviewing Baby Driver. But before we get to the movie and all the good and bad sides of the movie, we're going to start talking about the reviews of the trailers that appeared before the film. Did you want to say something, John?
I do, actually. Unrelated, I'm sure if you've seen the channel, then you've seen there is a GoFundMe video for myself up there. I just want to say thank you. And I'm overwhelmed by the amount of support I'm getting. Even if you're not giving money, and if you share it, it's great. I appreciate everything everyone's done. I wanted to make sure I got something that people know that, that means a lot. So thank you for that. And on with the show.
Okay. Very good. So what we have on here, our first trailer that we saw before the film was a movie which I've heard about a little bit. It's called Wish Upon. Unfortunately, I missed like part of the trailer before we even got into the theater, so I didn't see the whole thing. But it basically was how would you describe it, Mike?
Weird.
Mike, how would you?
To be honest with you,
what did you glean off the minute of the trailer you saw?
To be honest with you, I didn't even really pay attention to it, so it didn't grab me right away. One bit.
Not one bit. You have no memory of what it was about.
I just zoned
If your life
completely
depended
out.
upon it, you wouldn't be able to tell me what it was about.
That's exactly right. I zoned completely out.
You remember anything about it, John?
Was it the wraparound?
I've actually seen the trailer before. If I remember correctly, it's sort of a strange cross. There's a bit of like a monkey's paw tail in there, and they kind of make it out to be one of those Final Destination movies with some of the stuff they have in the trailer. I honestly don't know much about it. Horror movie, I'm sure it'll probably come out sometime in the fall. I don't remember them giving a release date. That's about all I can really say about it. I didn't have anyone in there I recognized.
Correct, right?
Star-wise, I'm sure it's a bunch of unknown teenagers making $1.50 for the first role. But yeah, it's pretty unmemorable, actually.
I would have to agree. Yeah.
I wish I cared more about it.
I see what you did there.
Kill me, Chris.
I didn't really care for the trailer. Other than wishing upon a music box, and when the music stops, whatever happens, that you made your wish about, somebody dies or whatnot. That's what I took away from it. It was a little vague, maybe what happens to the wisher after the wish is granted. It needs to be a little bit more complete. And I also didn't recognize anybody in the trailer.
So I think it's pretty clear none of us actually paid attention. So you're welcome.
And moving on, we're going to go to our second trailer that we saw. I mean, this one we actually saw the whole thing. This is a movie called American Assassin. And though I remember the premise of it, I don't remember, was there anyone in it that was famous?
Michael Keaton.
Oh, Michael Keaton. How could I forget Michael Keaton? Yeah.
How could you son of a bitch?
He was one of the main
I
guys.
suck.
He's Mr. Mom.
He'll always be Mr. Mom.
And he played Batman, too.
But he was Mr. Mom first.
And
You're
he's
right,
also
he
in
did
that
play
Spider-Man Homecoming movie, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but he was Mr. Mom.
And Ray Kroc.
Yes,
And Ray Kroc, he was. Very good, Michael.
He did.
You're welcome.
Wow, you know something.
So, okay, so you wait. So you saw the trailer. Tell us what it was about.
I liked it. It was about like whatchamacallit, stopping terrorism. He was an agent. Wanted to go and get
Who was an agent?
Michael. The other guy, I forget what the actor who was being trained by Michael Keaton. I'm going to say that was going to go and stop like the worldwide destruction. There's a plutonium bomb. I don't want to wreck it all. It looked really good.
Well, it's a trailer. You give away just enough, so you're not going to ruin it.
Can I go ahead and correct everything he just said?
Yeah, please,
Sure.
please do.
Okay, so there's a character played by Dylan O'Brien, who I am not familiar with, but his name came second in the credits, so that's a pretty good indication of who he plays. Basically, he is a vigilante. Something happened on a vacation. His girlfriend got killed. He's been hunting terrorists independently. He gets recruited I'm sure it's the CIA. It usually is in these things. Or maybe it's the Jason Bourne conspiracy group. I don't know. Maybe they're collaborating. Either way, he gets recruited. Michael Keaton is the world's greatest CIA agent / assassin. So he's training a group of people. He trains this kid. At some point, they jump like 5 years into the future, it looks like. They mentioned...
well, it's a trailer.
Were you speaking?
No, I was just saying it was a trailer.
Zip it.
Okay. All right. I'll zip it.
Zip it.
All right. I'll zip it.
Bit.
Okay. I'm zipping it.
Shut up.
All right.
Stop talking.
Okay.
Stop.
And?
Okay. So, they, what it looks like, there is a threat, as Mike somehow managed to get one fact right. There is some sort of plutonium thing happening. There's just some stolen plutonium, threats of a dirty bomb, nuke, whatever. And it looks like it's one of Michael Keaton's old trainees that is up to it. This is all in the trailer. This isn't spoilers.
Correct.
So and they have to send the newer trainee, the Golden Boy, out to get him. So I love Michael Keaton. He does not look like a CIA trained assassin. He looks like the guy that runs Ace Hardware. That's not a knock on Michael. He doesn't look the type. But the movie looks okay. They try to showcase some action scenes in there with nothing spectacular.
Right. I think they were just trying to make it like, what a trailer does, make it, like a teaser to make it seem what it might be an action-packed movie. Yeah. So you get that kind of crowd in there. Plus you get the people who like certain types of, dramas or whatever and all that.
Yeah, it's going for a thriller action thing. So, they need a franchise to replace Jason Bourne. That's all I got on that. Chris, any thoughts, concerns?
Yeah, Michael Keaton does seem a little out of his element, at least physically. He seems like he would be too old of a person to be doing some of the physical activities that they suggest he's doing in the trailer. And I'm not knocking him. I'm sure there's a lot of older, not just agents from CIA, but, the military or, special forces. They train people. They're good at it. They did it for their whole lives. The body's only good for so long doing things. But, to be a much older person going against, like what are otherwise literally indestructible teenagers is kind of far-fetched. But yeah, it does seem to be one of his trainees that he taught at some point who's gone off the reservation and has now become a terrorist himself for maybe the highest bidder. That's pretty much all I got out of it.
Now, let me just reiterate, that Ace Hardware Michael Keaton's running, he's not the head store manager. He's only an assistant. He runs paint.
But he is cross-trained to be able to cut
He
keys.
is cross-trained in other. Yeah, he is a key carrier. They're hoping to give him his own code so he can open the store from time to time. Other than that, that's all I've got on it. Let's see that.
Are you talking?
Not to you. Anyways, so moving on, we have another trailer that was actually, I think we spoke about it last time, called Daddy's Home 2. Right. So we don't need to talk about that one again.
No.
So, so we're moving on to one that was not seen before, and it's for Pitch Perfect 3, which I know is going to be one of John's favorite movies of all time. But it actually looked good to me. I actually saw, I can't say that. I didn't actually see Pitch Perfect 2, but I saw number 1. I like that. 2, I wanted to see but never have. So I would see 3, I think, probably at home. Like I wouldn't go to a theater to see it, but
no.
This one is definitely different from the other ones. At least I could tell. I mean, now they're past college, so they're no longer involved in these acapella competition type things, and they are wanting to. They're all kind of moving on in life and becoming adults, and they decide that they want to get back together for one last hurrah. So they decide to join this competition to the USO.
Right.
Was it an actual competition though? Yeah, it was a competition.
Yeah.
So and which was fine. That part didn't bother me. But the fact is, in the trailer, they show a bunch of like action scenes and explosions.
Yeah.
That confused the hell out of me because I can't imagine this being an action movie. So you think it's like one scene, they just use it like throughout the trailer to make it seem like it's an action movie, or you think there's actually a lot of stuff going on?
It could be one scene, but I don't know.
I don't remember any of that happening in that trailer.
Like jumping off a
Yeah.
ship at one point?
No, at some point my brain figured out it was Pitch Perfect 3 and shut down. I've never seen one. I don't ever want to see one.
Sure, I understand.
The appeal of Anna Kendrick continues to elude me.
Well, she's hot. How about that?
Then there's the one that's typecast too. I don't know her name, but
Is she though?
Which one? The
one-
Fat Amy?
yeah,
But she
it basically plays the same role in all these movies. I should say.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Fat Amy?
I don't.
The
not know
really
actress's
fat
name.
chick. There's only
What
one
is her name?
fat
Right.
chick.
She plays
John.
like an Australian or something.
Right.
Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson.
There we go.
I'm terrible at names. Don't ask me.
Oh my.
Wow, Fat Amy.
That's her name in the movie.
Right.
I've never seen one.
But I'm
so
saying that's her character. She's Fat Amy, right? I think it's Fat
Yeah.
Amy. Yeah.
that's not
Fat
offensive.
something.
House gay
well,
single.
obviously, but they're playing off on it. It's for
Right.
her. It's something she is okay with.
Okay.
I mean, she's like a stand-up comedian, I guess, or whatever, before
Yeah.
she became an actress. So,
Physical comedy, that type of stuff.
yeah.
Fat
So moving
comedy.
on from Pitch Perfect 3, we are going to see another movie, which I don't know if we're excited about seeing. It's called Blade Runner 2049. Now, I like the original Blade Runner. I don't even know what year that was. Chris, what year was the original Blade Runner?
Wasn't it like 1981?
You have a computer?
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, I do. It was 80 or 81, I believe.
Yeah.
Look it up faster, Chris.
Oh, dear God, Mike.
How dare you give orders?
Mike's grown a set, huh?
Let me get the nail clippers to go ahead and take care of that problem for you, tough guy.
Nail clippers.
1982.
You were wrong. You were wrong.
I remember watching Siskel and Ebert review that movie, and they were talking about how amazing it looks, and it does look amazing. It's a great looking film,
That's why I want to see the sequel.
a great
coming out.
looking film with the worst sci-fi plot in all of science fiction.
Well, that's on.
They made robot slaves that not only know they're slaves, but they gave them human emotions and backgrounds.
They're not robots. They're actual human
no,
beings.
they're not.
Yes.
Chris, they're not human beings.
They're not mechanical inside, John. They're actual
Really?
human beings.
Because that dude stuck his hand in like freaking nitrogen, and he was fine with it.
Yes, because that's the way they've been
They're
biologically
replicants. They're
engineered.
robots. They're made to break down.
No, their bodies shut off. They have limited
Why would you
life-
even make them in the first place?
I did not make them, John. I do not know.
It's a stupid concept. Why would you make a? Why would you make a
I am not the
robot
creator,
that
John.
thinks?
It is a concept, and people liked it.
It's a terrible idea. And I get, from what I can tell, Harrison Ford, he had to do Star Wars in this movie in order to
By a yacht?
in order to get more Indiana Jones movies made because he's got a hard on for Indy. And
Why
he-
shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well,
It made
It's
them.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
that's true.
There's nothing after Han Solo, after Star Wars.
Well, not now.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, spoiler alert.
yeah. He wanted Han
yeah.
dead back in Jedi, so
Yeah.
he's always wanted Han to die. And at this point, I'm not sure he was wrong in that. Maybe he should have. Who knows where the series would look like? You know what it would look like right now. That being said, the way the first movie ended, especially the director's cut, was whether his Deckard character, Harrison Ford's character, was a replicant himself.
I remember that, but I don't really remember. I was a kid.
Well, he ran off with a replicant played by Sean Young, who in real life
right.
is fake. So
Allegedly.
allegedly, I don't even know what that means. She's a weirdo. I can say that though, because that's well documented. I mean, remember when Batman Returns was casting? She used to go on talk shows dressed up as a Catwoman, trying to get the part.
Well, she was being a go-getter.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right, yeah, that's one word for it. Yeah, there's stories, but that's
Anyways,
we don't have time.
so Blade Runner 2049 is...
Blade Runner 2049. Just avoid it. If you're gonna watch it, listen to I listen to something in the background. The Prince Batman soundtrack. Anything else? Literally anything else. But the movie's not gonna make sense. It's got Ryan Gosling, who is okay. I don't have the I don't like him as much as most people do.
You don't get the whole appeal.
Not really. No. I mean, he's okay. He reminds me of well, no. He did Lars and the Real Girl, which I thought he was good in that. But I haven't been super impressed with anything he's done, honestly. But I don't watch Nicholas Sparks movies either, so.
Well, if the women like him, they're going to put him in a film. It's eye candy, gets him to the audiences or into the films.
So what you're saying, you think it's attractive, Mike?
No, I'm not saying that.
So you're in love with Ryan Gosling?
No, I'm not in love with him. I'm just saying that if they shown that a
You're
lot
saying
of
if you
women
guys
like
had a
him.
chance, maybe you get together.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
You're not good enough for Ryan Gosling.
No, I do not
Don't
have a
put
thing for
yourself in that pool.
Ryan Gosling.
Willem Dafoe, maybe.
That's deformation of character, damn it.
William Dafoe wouldn't fuck you, Mike.
So,
Chris,
I'll
any
refer to
thoughts?
console.
the next movie we
Oh,
have...
I'm out of that lawsuit.
Next movie we have is the remake of Flatliners, or reboot, I guess you would call it, of Flatliners. What year was the original Flatliners?
Why?
Probably
Just
Why?
why?
let's say the 90s sometime.
Hang
No.
on.
Well, you know what? I think it's because it's an interesting concept, and
Yeah.
and it's been so long that the people growing up now, especially teenagers and early
Right.
early 20s, have no idea of the original Flatliner
I
movie.
saw that on a date in a theater.
1990.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what
I
I'm
was in high school.
right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like
But why? Why would they remake that?
I think it's an interesting concept. I mean, you have these medical students who are trying to do something interesting and different, and when either one or it was only the one really came up with the idea, right, or a couple of them, and
Right.
the other ones joined in later because they found out about it.
There's
In the
one, and then
original, yeah, it's kind of like
spread.
that.
Well, I
yeah.
think in this one too, like the
Yeah.
one had the idea and it was her, and the guy did it, and then someone else found out, like, what are you doing? I want to do that too. And then they all decided to kind of try it and then do it and up on each other,
Right.
and then make it longer and longer
God,
and longer.
who's in the first movie had
Kevin
Ke-
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's the only one I remember.
Julia
Kevin
Roberts.
Bacon.
Oh, didn't it have a Sutherland in it or no?
Who?
Yeah, Kiefer
Yeah,
Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland was
Yeah,
in it.
Kiefer Sutherland, Oliver Platt,
Julia
Roberts.
Julia Roberts was in that.
Was
wasn't
Demi
she?
Moore in that?
No.
Chris?
You
Hang
got
on.
the damn computer.
Let me look.
I got 4 tabs open, ready.
Yeah,
Time to go.
Oh, I got 8 tabs.
You should be
open. I gotta
proactive
close
in
one
picking
right
these things
now.
up before we even go there.
Well, look at the only one that's got the flatline stuff on it, Chris. Please.
Well, I'm trying to, but
Wow.
Okay.
Dude,
let me
told
look.
me to
Take your
talk more.
put a
shut
mic in
though.
front of Mike, and it's like double mic, and he's got these balls from heck.
Okay, we got Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, Kevin Bacon, William Baldwin, Oliver Platt,
William
Kimberly
Baldwin.
Scott.
Or as his friends know him, Billy Baldwin.
Kimberly Scott? Who the hell is Kimberly Scott?
Wendy Hicks was her character's name.
Winnie Hick.
Those were the first build. That's what.
Yeah, Mike, I'm just going to warn you now. You keep talking to him like that, I ain't going to stop him when he goes to
Okay.
kick your ass after we're done. Chris,
And
you
you'll
got-
try.
Chris, go ahead and kiss Mike's ass after the show.
Allegedly.
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 In theory, if you were to beat Mike's ass later.
And I dumped the body where again, John?
Okay, so anyways,
And it
Flatliners
just
does not look
fights
like a movie that any of us really are jumping to see. But the one after it, which I know nothing about, but the trailer looked very interesting, so it did a good job there, was for Dark Tower. It's about gunslingers and a different dimension.
It's a Stephen King series.
Uh,
Yeah, that did look kind of interesting.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this. I never read. I don't like Stephen King really. I guess there's like 25 Dark Tower books. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot of stories.
Oh, it's like a whole series.
Yeah, it's a series. Matthew McConaughey plays the devil, basically. And Idris Elba is the good guy. And I guess the movie is supposed to be it's either a prequel or like a sequel to the books. I think it might be a sequel to where the books go. I don't know. I've heard all this stuff about speculation about it. It looks okay. I think Ron Howard directed it. Who actually had to take over this week on the Han Solo Star Wars movie.
I didn't hear about this.
Lord and Miller, the two guys that were directing the Han Solo standalone film, got fired. They did the Lego movie. They did the 21 Jump Street movies. They produced The Last Man on Earth on
Why did
Fox.
they get fired?
Creative differences. Those guys are big on improv. They tried to make it into a comedy, and
Really?
yeah, apparently Lawrence Kasdan and his son, who wrote the script, and Kathleen Kennedy, who runs Lucasfilm with Disney, got really angry that they were changing the script so much.
Wow.
They were trying to make it into this weird hybrid comedy and didn't really understand Star Wars. So they got fired and replaced with Ron Howard.
I can see that, I guess.
But the weird part is they're like 4 or 5 months in on this shoot already.
It's expensive.
It's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been pretty bad. And why they wouldn't have been removed a couple of months ago, I don't know. But
Maybe someone hesitated, and then they figured, well, they'll
Right.
come around, we'll get him back in shape or something. It just
and you know
never
what's
happened.
the funny part? I heard it was the stars of the Han Solo movie that were complaining about them. Because they're like, these guys are going off script. They're making us do jokes. They're making this try to be real funny.
Was that maybe for the gag or blooper reel?
No, bloopers are mistakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not designed.
Yeah, but sometimes, when you think about all the singing they did and What About Mary, as the credits are rolling.
What?
What About Mary? The
Sing the
like,
fill-in
You mean there's
footage.
something about Mary?
there's something about Mary, yeah.
But
Okay.
that was a comedy too, Chris.
That was meant to be a comedy. Were you talking
Well,
Star
yeah,
Wars?
but when you buy the Blu-ray, you do get, gag reels and
Well,
stuff
yeah,
behind the
expert.
scenes,
Right,
and
but-
maybe some of that got confused.
No, they purposely changed the script to do what they wanted to do, and it didn't go over well. And once the studio caught on, they they wanted to go a different direction, and fired them. That's the whole story on that.
So, Mike, did Dark Tower seem interesting to you? And are you familiar with Stephen King? Do you read Stephen King?
Not really.
Not really.
I know,
Would you-
like Christine. He wrote Christine, the car thing. The car gets animated. It goes and kills people.
The car gets animated.
It's a
well,
soul.
Yeah, and he wrote
Cujo,
Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery.
Cujo.
The shinning.
Yeah,
Shinning.
the shit.
Don't you mean it's shush, boy? You want to get sued?
The boy's got the shinning.
I didn't really see much of.
You can call me anytime except between 4 and 5 because that's Willie's time.
I didn't really see much of like what I don't know what they were doing with like Matthew McConaughey's character. He's been popping up in all kinds of movies.
There are 8 novels in the Dark Tower series.
8.
Thank you, Chris.
And I think there might actually be some short stories as well, spread across a couple of his anthology books, or maybe those have been collected. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't have an opinion on it. I don't know anything about it. Visually, it looked okay. I don't know if I want to watch 2 hours of Evil McConaughey.
What'd you call him?
Evil McConaughey.
Yeah.
Evil McConaughey. Is there a good McConaughey? No. It's just all evil.
Maybe he'll have him.
There's probably a less
Yeah.
rapey McConaughey out there.
rapey.
He'll be in a Lincoln
Allegedly.
MKZ.
Well, I mean, like, just the way he plays his, like, you just feel like he's gonna lock the door and turn, just lock you in a room and have his way with you at some point.
Are we letting our fantasies slip out here a little bit, John?
Allegedly, is it going to be in a Lincoln MKZ?
Yeah, it'll be in the back of a Lincoln. Yeah. No, he's creepy. All right.
That's just wrong.
Okay, so
Hey,
now
Pam.
correct me if I'm wrong. Did we already do Kingsman: The Golden Circle last time?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe in the first.
I think we did it
review.
at some
Yeah.
point. we
I
reviewed
believe,
it.
yeah, at some point we
Well, I
did.
do want to touch on that because it came up as a Red Band trailer,
Right. I didn't even notice, but you were saying that.
and at no point did they have any Red Band material in the trailer.
No swearing, no nudity,
We couldn't figure out why it was made a Red Band trailer, but
just to say they had a Red Band trailer, maybe,
yeah,
to draw
it's,
attention from that point of view.
it's a secret to the Kingsmen. I still have no interest in it,
Neither do I.
and you guys haven't seen the first Kingsman, have you?
I have not, though. I did want to. I mean, it seems interesting. I think it was on cable even at one point. I think I missed it. I don't think it's on demand or on cable anymore, but
You're not missing
No.
much.
Well, the whole movie. You know how that movie ends?
no.
This is not a lie. It ends with a joke about anal sex.
Okay.
That's how it
All
ends.
No, that's I understand.
Because they think it's oh so funny. But I think that covers all the trailers.
I won't say any more about the Kingsmen on that note.
No.
Okay,
That's just
how about the
wrong.
main event then?
And what is the main event, Chris?
The main event is Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. So
I think the movie would have been a whole lot more interesting had it been Baby Diver.
Baby.
Where he dives.
It could have been a little tiny baby just diving. For
like
2
on the
hours.
cover of Nirvana's first album.
Yeah,
Could have been that for 2 hours.
yeah, the Baby Diver album
Or
movie.
baby diaper.
But
Baby Diaper, really? That's the best you got?
I don't know.
hey, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's
it
pretty
works.
bad.
Some of them,
It works. It's
they
a
either
dad
work or they
joke,
don't
but
work.
it works.
I'm gonna pay someone to beat you up after the show. All right.
I accept Visa.
I'm
So-
looking for a security guard here.
So, how to explain how to put that like in a summary of the movie?
It's about
It's a bank robber.
No, okay.
But he's not,
Basically,
Humphrey.
it's about a guy that was in an accident when he was a kid. He has
Right.
tinnitus, which is like a constant ringing in your ears.
very annoying. I had it for
Yeah.
recently.
James
About of it.
Hetfield from Metallica suffers from it pretty severely, from my understanding. So he listens to music to drown out the noise. So he constantly has headphones on. He goes by the nickname Baby, which I don't think they ever really explain.
I think they kind of alluded to the fact that maybe his mom had named him that at some point.
Nicknamed him, yeah.
You know, kind of his nickname as a
Was
kid,
a
and
little
just
kid.
stuck because his yeah.
And his real name is Miles.
At some,
Right.
yeah. Well, spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
You give away the whole ending of the movie. His name is Miles.
At least it's not Miles Davis.
He has a sister named Kilometers.
Yeah.
I don't. So,
Like,
did they? So he's been in debt to this mobster
Yeah,
slash.
I was a mobster.
yes.
I would say mobsters. They never really explain some sort of gangland activity. He's been in debt to them, and the way he's been paying it off is he's been doing bank robberies and jobs where he's the getaway driver. Hence his name is Baby. Hence he's the driver. Hence we have Baby Driver, who listens to music. He meets he's about to. He is like he's that cop in the last week before retirement. He's got one job left to do, and he's going to be free of the mob, and he can go live his life. He's got a little stash of cash, and he meets some waitress at a diner and decides that he wants to be with her forever. And then things go horribly wrong at some point.
Yeah.
It's an understatement.
Without ruining too much. Let's not try to ruin too much. And the last half hour is him trying to untangle the web of crap he's gotten himself into. Now, the big hook for a lot of people with this, and they do play it up in the trailers too, the music he listens to, he constantly listens to music. Constantly in the movie.
Correct.
Yeah.
This movie might have I don't know if I've ever learned to hate music I used to like more than after watching this. And the way he reacts to music, no normal human. Like one of the characters, like one of the first lines in the whole movie is that guy retarded?
Yeah.
I think he might be.
Referring
Just
to
a
Baby
smidge.
Driver.
Especially, he's the way he reacts to the music he listens to makes no sense at all. None at all. He really what he has is OCD, and somehow he's managed to work music into it. It should be OCD driver, I guess.
Well, the thing is too, is I think it's kind of a coping mechanism for him to the extent that he was actually listening to music when both of his parents were kind of musicians. His mom was a singer. They loved music. He even bought him his first iPod, the first one that ever came out or whatever, and he was actually listening to it during the car accident. So it's kind of like music has become part of his life. It's a coping thing. He uses it not only to cover up the sound of the tinnitus in his ear, but just to build a life around music. Some people are like that. I mean, I actually used to work with a guy who had to listen to music constantly, otherwise he would go insane. I mean, literally, he literally owned, I think he said, somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 albums, and that's not including what he had on digital music. So some people are like that.
And the music gone for the day.
And I think, and I can't remember who it was for the life of me, but someone made a comparison about this movie that it was a kind of a blend between like a drama action movie and La La Land. And I think that's a very good description in the sense that, I mean, there's certain parts where he's almost dancing and going down the street. And
yes, very much so.
Yeah. So I think that was actually kind of a neat concept. I never saw La La Land, so maybe if I had, I'd be disappointed in this, or I'd feel like, my God, they're just copying them or something. I don't know. But I mean, I think it was good, personally. I mean, was it realistic?
No.
Not really. But it's a movie. It's Hollywood. That's the whole point. Hollywood is supposed to be unrealistic. If you want real life, just go open the newspaper or flick on CNN.
Well, we should, we didn't even cover the cast. So the Baby Driver himself is played by Ansel Elgort.
I believe that's correct.
Elgort. It also has Kevin Spacey as his handler for the mob. John Hamm. John Bernthal's in it briefly, but he gets top credit, which is odd. Jamie Foxx is in it. Is not a very nice fella. I think was his character like bad guy. I think his character just called bad guy.
Bats.
Thanks for ruining the joke.
Oh, okay.
Dick. And it's directed by Edgar Wright, who, Chris, are you still on the Edgar Wright page?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to start going through all his movies that he directed. Now, he did a show on, his first big hit was on BBC with a show called Space with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. He went on to make Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. And then the next movie he did was Scott Pilgrim, yeah?
No, he did Grindhouse, segment on it.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did a fake movie trailer on for the movie Grindhouse. I don't know. Have you ever seen it?
What's it? I'm trying to think. The name sounds so familiar. I want to say I did, but
Tarantino did the Death Proof half, and Robert Rodriguez did the. I don't even know what the hell they call it.
For Grindhouse, the fake trailer segment was called "Don't."
I'll say no.
It was a cute segment. It was for a horror movie, where it's like a character is about to open a door and the voiceover would just go "Don't," and would be about to do something stupid and you just hear in the background "Don't." It was cute. And then what's his next credit? Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, then you got Scott Pilgrim,
which is hugely disappointing.
You did not like Scott Pilgrim?
I hated Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim, yeah.
I read the book. I actually read the book.
I did too, yeah.
Before that thing ever even got filmed. With the exception of the volume 8, because they started making the movie and then they changed the ending to match the book. I shouldn't say changed the ending, but he made the ending of the film. O'Malley, the guy that wrote the book, Scott O'Malley, I think, wrote the end of the book to match the movie, and I hate the end of the movie. Just hate it. And there's so much material in the books they never touched on. They left a lot out, actually.
Well, after that one, he did The World's End.
The World's End, which is, okay, if you count Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. That's known as the Cornetto trilogy. Now, I do believe in the UK, a cornetto is, or maybe it's just England, I'm not sure. Cornetto is basically what we call a drumstick in America. It's the ice cream cone with the vanilla and the the nuts and the chocolate on it. Because they talk about cornettos in all the films. World's End is definitely the weakest of those three. It's an okay film. It's not very funny. The ending's kind of fun though. The ending, I should say, the ending's entertaining more than, but it's not a very funny comedy. And that's what it's going for the most part.
Well, after The World's End, you got Baby Driver, and then you got a new project that he's attached to that's been announced called Shadows.
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about Shadows. Now, when did World's End come out?
2013.
And when did Scott Pilgrim come out?
2010.
Okay. Hold on. Edgar Wright was working on Ant-Man for about 5 solid years. He started developing it in like 2008. There's test footage online you can find.
Okay.
Where he was testing out special effects. That was his baby. And right before they went to start filming, he got cut out. He had a huge problem with Marvel Studios. Now, whether it was because he didn't want to do... Because Marvel tries to... they give the directors as much freedom as they can, but they're telling an overall story, so certain elements have to fit in.
Right.
Which is what hurt Joss Whedon with Age of Ultron. He had to fit a bunch of stuff in that he didn't want to. So that hurt that movie a little bit. Now with Ant-Man, I have no idea what they were pushing on him to include, but like they flat out just couldn't. They had irreconcilable differences on that one where they just couldn't work with each other. So he worked on that thing for a solid 5 years before and then walked away. I want to say 2008 to about 2013, right before Ant-Man got filmed and came out. He was on it, and I don't know what kind of movie Ant-Man. Have you seen Ant-Man?
I have not seen Ant-Man.
Peyton Reed ended up doing Ant-Man. Director Peyton Reed, who had done. He's actually doing the sequel as well called Ant-Man and Wasp, and he had done a handful of movies before that. The only one I can think of is called Down with Love, and that's like this weird musical with Ewan McGregor and Renee Zellweger. That looks beautiful. It looks like it was shot in like 1950, but it's a musical, so not being a lady or Mike, I didn't watch it. Oh. Yeah, take that, tough guy. So there's more where that came from. If you get sassy,
okay,
just remember that. So
I'm gonna need a bodyguard after this podcast.
You think?
Yeah, I'm gonna need
a bodyguard.
I think you'll be fine, Mike.
I'm worried.
He shouldn't be. The children are locked in their room. So the thing was, if basing on what I saw out of Baby Driver, if he had that same tone when he made Ant-Man, Ant-Man might be the biggest piece of shit that's ever been put on film. Baby Driver is awful. I couldn't stand one goddamn second of that main character. From the moment he started listening to the music and doing his little hand jives and his little moves and everything about that character is so fake. He's unwatchable. When he's dancing down the street and everything happens to be choreographed perfectly in the real world, because that happens a lot. That guy goes down the street, birds landing on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like he stops in front of a music store window right when a trumpet part comes up and stops and plays the trumpet in the window. Fuck you, Edgar Wright.
You're just having fun.
No, fuck you. That is smarmy jerking off on this goddamn screen bullshit.
Well,
I wanted to punch everyone in their smarmy face for everyone involved in this.
All right, John.
The one.
No, I've only been talking 2 minutes. Shut your mouth.
Jeez.
No, this is a guy.
Okay.
This was a freaking insult. I'm done with Edgar Wright. I'm literally done with this guy. He hasn't made a decent film. I mean, Hot Fuzz is his best movie. I mean, he topped out at number 2. You know, Shaun of the Dead's a lot of fun. Hot Fuzz is better. He hasn't made anything better than that since then. This is garbage. This is absolute hyper stylized. Look at me, garbage. I mean, this is so ego driven that this is what happens when somebody believes their shit doesn't stink. Like you get this, and then you get Batman and Robin. This is the Batman and Robin of horrible mobster caper films.
Well,
I hate this thing.
okay.
Maybe more than Transformers, or it's equal. I have yet to see a decent movie this year at the theater. I haven't seen one I liked yet, and the trend is not looking good.
Well, it's Spider-Man looks
Spider-Man next week. I'll probably be in the hospital, so I will miss it.
You won't. It'll be fine.
But you know, hopefully Spider-Man's good. Because if I come back, I might just be dead of rage. If the Spider-Man sucks.
I didn't like that they recycled Harlem Shuffle, which is an awful. That's personally, I think it's an awful song to begin with. 3 times, of various versions in that movie.
So you picked up on that fact.
I picked up on that.
So, okay, we understand what John's general impression of the movie is. What was your gut feeling? What coming out of the theater, did you feel disappointed? Did you feel like it was worth your time? What did you feel?
No, I thought it was like it was Escape from Hollywood. I mean, not Escape from Hollywood. It's Escape from your normal life and all that. And yeah, it's going to have some elements where stuff is not going to happen in real life and all that. It was okay.
It's okay?
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't that necessarily a bad movie.
Right. Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. Chris, how about you?
It dragged on for the most part, maybe because it was filled with music I didn't like, but I did grow up through that time period, so I recognized the songs, and it was like, really? You're putting this here, you're putting that there? You know, maybe the studio forced him to.
No, they didn't. That was his choice, believe me.
Oh, John, I'm just saying, it's my turn to talk.
Well,
so
speak correctly then, and I won't have to fix everything you say.
Right. Okay, so anyways, we're, all the singing and dancing that he's kind of doing in the beginning, I don't buy that for a second, that would happen in real life, and it's not a musical per se, but it's like they tried to give it at least the tone of it in the beginning, like it's kind of a musical, because he's wording the words, he's mouthing the words, he's trying to imitate the singers, I'm a little put off by it, to say the least. And the driving, I expected a lot more driving in there, to be honest, than there was.
There was a lot of driving.
Well, I expected more high performance, It's like he can hotwire any car on planet Earth in 5 seconds. It's like, really? Yeah. Any car? I mean, some of those cars are kind of expensive. And any car, I'm sure those manufacturers put a lot of resources into making sure those cars are hard to steal, because otherwise the insurance rates would be even higher on those particular models, right? Not to mention when he goes to steal a truck or so forth, what he ends up doing is, there's a whole bunch of cars around from like the late 70s, or early 80s that really don't have any theft deterrent, devices built in where a screwdriver, gets it going. Come on.
Well, he used a screwdriver and something else to his defense.
Yeah, but still,
I don't know what the other thing was, but
I
there were
don't.
two
The
things.
ignition, the wires or something. I don't know.
I don't buy it. It seemed just too lame in all the wrong areas to me. It didn't hold my interest. It didn't go into enough detail as to why the waitress and him, have this attraction to each other. There should have been a little bit more. It was almost like, a little full blast. There wasn't really much in between. I didn't expect sex, and that's fine that there wasn't any in there, but it just, as far as their relationship the relationship just seemed like it wasn't really there. Like, yeah, you like me? I like you too. Okay, let's run off together.
Well, and I think their connection was music
Yeah.
and the fact of being on the open road, driving,
Right.
just being somewhere where everyone else isn't, or doing your own thing, taking control of your own life.
You're taking care of somebody, not to interrupt.
Right,
but-
and they were both right. Exactly. No, Mike, interrupt. That's the whole point. You're right. They were both caregivers for a good chunk of their life.
right.
She was with her mother, right, and he was with
Right.
his foster.
Yeah.
Father,
okay.
yeah.
Explain to me why,
Yeah.
when after his parents are murdered or die in the car accident, the foster system hooks him up with a foster parent who's not only deaf but in a wheelchair.
And black. No offense.
Mike,
Well, he was black in there. It just seems kind of a little
this is
racist.
2017.
Oh, I know. I don't mean anything racist by it.
I think
so
you
don't wanna-
do. I
No,
think
I
you
don't mean anything
clearly
racist
do.
by it.
No, did I notice? I didn't even notice he
No.
was black, Mike. That's how racist you are.
So it's open season on Mike.
No, but in all seriousness, yeah, okay, he was deaf. That was a bit weird, but I don't think he
I'm
was in a
gonna get a lot
wheelchair. I
of
think he was in a
hate mail
wheelchair
after
because
this.
he's old. I think years ago he wasn't. In fact, he maybe. I mean, I'm assuming he was always deaf.
Yeah, right.
Well, here's the thing: the baby driver character is only 25. If his parents got in the wreck, when he was 10?
No, I don't think he was even. I think he was like
No.
8 or something or 6.
I mean, it's very strange. If it, I don't. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure he. By the time they got to where we saw the foster parent, he's completely deaf and in a wheelchair. It seems you wouldn't put a child with someone like that, especially like you, because the kid had to learn sign language just to get along with. Your parents just died. We're gonna go ahead and hook you up with this person. Also, you have to learn sign language.
Right. Not only is it a stranger, you have to learn a whole new way of communicating and to kind of take care of them. So, warn them of crossing streets and things like that. But
Right.
no
he,
pressure.
He was always in a bathrobe. In every scene, this older person was in a bathrobe.
But you don't know.
You're in a bathrobe at home all the time.
La 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 la.
Yeah, but you don't know when he raised them, like how old. The guy.
Well,
Like about 20 years, 19, 18
All
years
right.
ago.
Well, how? They probably filled in the blanks. And they wanted to make a human element in the movie.
Yeah, no, I
so-
think that part was actually great. I had no problem with that at all.
I didn't. Like I said, I had no
Psychological
problem with the
closure.
foster parent. It's just the deaf foster parent made no sense.
Maybe he requested a deaf foster parent.
Right.
Who would do that?
A
you're a
boy who
kid,
loves
how do you
music, who has
request?
tinnitus in his ears, so they make a connection to hearing. I don't
Right.
know. Maybe they thought he was going to lose his hearing, so they want to connect him with someone so he can learn the language, be able to communicate, be accepting of the fact that he may never hear again. Who knows? We don't know all the ins and outs, what happened in his
Oh,
accident.
and a special shout out to
There must be a 3-hour movie.
the laughing jackass that apparently followed us from Transformers last week into this theater.
He's skulking
Seriously, every joke this guy's laughing. It's the same dude. I swear to God.
Was
Is it
there-
really?
Was there any jokes?
He has
He
no
laughed at
life.
everything.
But I didn't even hear.
Yeah.
What kind of jokes were there?
There weren't any jokes.
well, that's what I'm
the
saying. I don't
weird
remember.
part.
I don't remember.
No,
any-
there were no jokes. So what?
But if he kept laughing
are-
at every line.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I think we've done
Yeah.
it. I think we've explained enough of the movie without really giving too much away.
Absolutely, because it's good to not give every
Stalking
detail
us.
away.
Except for Chris giving away the giant detail.
What giant detail?
Let's not remind people.
Yeah.
That's how sad he is. He's already forgotten what he's ruined.
Don't get old, kids. Don't get old. I personally, surprisingly, liked the movie. I didn't love the movie, but I liked it.
Yeah.
And I liked it because I took it for what it was. This Hollywood creation of something that's entertaining, something that's got drama, and it's got Kevin Spacey in it. I'm a sucker for Kevin Spacey. If put him in a movie, I'll watch it. I don't care. Speaking of that, I have a whole season of House of Cards to watch.
Okay.
No.
Are we giving a rating now? And so out of 4 stars, what are you giving?
Out of 4 stars, I'm actually going to give it. Well, I keep going back between 2.75 and 3. I don't know if it's quite 3, but I don't know if it's 2.75. Let's just give it 3. I like simple numbers.
Mike?
I'm gonna give it a 3.
How do I say this? Would I give Transformers 1?
You give it a 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this...
Be honest. This is a judge-free zone.
No, it's not. I'm literally judging a movie right now. I'm going to... I'm gonna give it a star and a half, and I'll tell you why. Because as much as it pissed me off, it didn't have Mark Wahlberg in it, so it gets a half-star jump.
So it's a bonus.
It's a bump. They got the Wahlberg bump.
Got the Wahlberg bump. That's it.
The Wahlberg bump.
Got to put that in the tags later. All right, Chris.
All right, I'll give it the Wahlberg bump too, but I'm only going up as high as 2.
2.
And I'll do that because I think the actors in there all did their job properly. You know, I think they did act. I mean, nobody like telephoned at home, but between the script and the fact that it was trying to come off at first like a musical, and the lack of, there's a lot of gun shooting in there. I mean, there's a lot of gunfights and, certainly towards the end, there is violence in the movie and bloodshed, but as far as the character development to a certain degree, even for Baby Driver, doesn't really pull me in or make me feel like I should feel sorry for the guy. It should have had a little bit more backstory on why he owes, rather than just
no, they explained why he owes.
They explain, in one little scene, and it's all talking. It's not like if they showed some, not video, but you know what I mean, some behind
like a flashback or something.
Exactly.
But some people hate flashbacks.
It's been done a lot in movies too.
Because a guy as powerful as Kevin Spacey's character is supposed to be could just, have Baby wiped out in a heartbeat and, be done with it. But instead he kind of, invites the kid along to...
Baby wipes.
Baby wipes.
Wow, John.
Yeah.
You're on a roll.
Good.
But
that was good.
It just, it doesn't explain why he feels like he has heart towards this kid, and just it's hard to feel sorry for anybody in there except maybe the waitress.
Because the guy, because the kid, being as young as he was, because he was only like 12 or something, they explained at the time, that he was impressed by his testicular fortitude to steal his car and whatever that, and then he was willing to work it off, so he gave him that chance. But that's kind of crazy because he was really young when this happened. And he just finished working it off. That's
that is, a little bit.
Must have been a heck of a haul of whatever he had in the trunk of the car. But didn't he even get the stuff back? I thought he got the stuff back. He even said, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he.
They found the car, or they got the car back after he dumped it.
He tracked them down somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess it's better than being killed by the mob.
Yeah, it is.
Can't complain there. So I like I said, I liked it for what it was. Was it the best action movie? No. Was it the best drama? No. Was it the best musical? No. But combined all in all, for what it was, like I said, it might have been something they were trying to do like La La Land, and it might be a poor comparison, like in reality between the two movies. I've never seen La La Land, so, and maybe if you saw it, you would be disappointed in this movie. But since I hadn't seen La La Land, I think it was fine.
Yeah.
How many times can I say La La Land?
I don't know. A lot.
La 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 la
lot.
Anyways, so is that it for Baby Driver then?
Yeah, I think so. How are we on time?
We are at just about an hour, about 53 minutes.
Yeah, but all of it wasn't about Baby Driver. We just...
Well, no, he doesn't have to.
We should have took better notes of what was going on. We probably should have taken notebooks with us into the theater.
Next time, Chris, you're taking a notebook. You can write everything down.
I have a memory above that of a 2-year-old, so I'm good. I did actually want to make one correction from last week. When we were talking about the War for the Planet of the Apes trailer.
Oh, yes.
I mentioned Matt Reeves was the director of the first 2 Planet of the Apes films. He, in fact, was only the director on the second. Or I should say the first sequel. So, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which was the first of the new movies, was not Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and he's now directed War for the Planet of the Apes. So, I just wanted to make that correction.
Very good. So, I guess that will do it for us for this episode then, right? Unless anyone else got something else they want to add?
I just want to apologize to Chris for berating him a little bit. I was just joking around with Chris. I just wanted to mention that.
That's all right, Mike. I'll kill you
Thank you.
later.
He'll be joking around when he beats you up.
On that note, we're going to get out of here then. All right? So, say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.